Burnouts. The Heat have lost 4 in a row and are officially out of the NBA Cup. And I'll just come out and say it. The NBA Cup isn't even a real thing. Who cares? Not me, that's for sure. I'd rather lose than participate in that silly little gimmick of Adam Silver's. I'm kidding. I'm coping. As a huge Cuphead, I'm actually quite torn up about this. The Heat started the game so hot and had me feeling so great about everything in this world. And then the Heat got cold, ice cold. We couldn't hit a three to save our lives. Powell and Hero both, they were missing wide open shots that they normally make. Desmond Bain was having a career night, a bounce back after his last game against us where he couldn't make a shot. The Magic fans are in my comments talking shit, rightfully so, and I can't even say anything. All I can say is, you know what rhymes with pain? Bane. On today's pod, we'll be talking through that NBA Cup loss, talking about the teams that are still in the Cup, previewing our next 3 games at Brooklyn, at Boston, at New York, and last but not least, playing a game of Baked or Based, where we rate NBA news and takes as well. Baked or based. And if you've made it this far into the intro, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave a 5-star rating review. We'll get into all that and more after this. Oh, all right. Good morning, Adrian. Thank you for joining us here today. I'm sad to say we're here on not the best of terms. The Heat have lost 3 in a row now. We lost to the Kings, we lost to the Magic, and then we lost to the Magic. So, just how are you feeling first and foremost? How are you feeling off of that loss last night in the NBA Cup game?
That one hurts just because of how we started.
Yeah,
We started off hot, but then they got hot at the right time. They turned it around. We couldn't get enough stops. Um, After the game, Spo mentioned that we weren't doing well enough after missing shots to be consistent on defense. We were being a
yeah,
little lazy on defense after missing shots, and that's an issue. It's probably been an issue the last few games. I mean, Norman Powell said after the game that teams are really adjusting to the pace and they're trying to slow them down. They're finding the triggers to keep them slowing down on the offensive side. So for everyone trying to blame Tyler for this, it's not that. It's really the defense is really just figuring it out. So now the Heat, as you do, you got to tweak some more, tweak some more, tweak some more till you get there. But the last 3 games have been disappointing. The Kings game we should have won. The game yesterday was definitely winnable. We
yeah,
didn't do enough. We let Bane get hot and then had 0 answers for him yesterday.
yeah. Uh,
Ridiculous.
Desmond Bain. I mean, I think in general, the more I see it, like the Magic just aren't a good matchup for us. Desmond Bain is just way too big and strong to have Tyler or Powell in front of him, really. We end up needing to help onto him even. And
Yeah.
then if we're helping on him and then there's Paolo, they're just really big and really strong. This is something too, skipping ahead a little bit. I was going to save this for a little bit later in the discussion, but as I've kept saying the word big, I think it's becoming more and more apparent the big problem with the Heat is our lack of bigs. Andrew Wiggins at the 4 in spot minutes has, shown up. He played well this game. I mean, he was playing defense, he was making shots, but I
Down
don't
the
think
stretch, he played well as the
yeah,
4, but
I just don't think long term that's a solution. And part of the reason I say this, Goga Batadze and Jonathan Isaac, 2 of the bigs for the Magic who came off the bench. In 12 minutes, Jonathan Isaac was a plus 13. In 17 minutes, Goga Batadze is a plus 11. Those aren't guys that should be doing this. And I mean, Goga has continued to be an issue for the Heat every time we play against him. It's like,
yeah.
it just shows his size. I mean, he's a smart player too. He's crafty, but it's Ware's kind of in a slump right now. Kalal's a minus 15 in 12 minutes in this game. I feel
Yeah.
like he's getting lost in the offense too, and not even maybe his fault. I just don't even feel like the ball is ever finding him. He's just kind of out there.
I mean, but that's kinda the offense is just kind of out there. It's not necessarily running a play, making sure that he's getting the ball, you know? So it's kinda just like the flow of things, and I know Jonathan Isaac has no business doing what he's doing. That guy is one of the biggest thieves in the NBA. That guy's making, I think, over $20 million or $15 million, something like that. A ridiculous amount of money to average like 3, 3, and 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
but he's
I mean,
plus 11 against the Heat because we don't have somebody that can rebound with him.
yeah,
That can't happen. Like,
his defense and his length, he's just big. He's a big body out
and
there.
he was always a really good player, to be fair. He was, like, the number 1 player coming out of high school, one of the best players coming out of college to this guy was the real deal. Injuries and life things obviously have happened over the years and that have changed that, but, like, those guys, Goga and Jonathan Isaac, have no business doing what they did against us yesterday. That's
No.
just unacceptable.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a couple things. Like again, it's there's a lot of reasons why we lost this game. The glaring one we kind of talked about it yesterday. The 3-point shooting just fell off a cliff for the Heat. The Heat as a whole
Completely.
shot 24.2% from three.
You
The
won't win
Orlando
that
Magic,
way.
no, Orlando Magic shot 46.9. Just even more like Powell went 4 for 12, but there was a good stretch of like 5 or 6 3-pointers he had at the late third quarter and fourth quarter that they were pretty open and they were in his motion, like they were his shot. And
Yeah.
it wasn't falling. He had 2 air balls this game, I believe. Tyler Hero also was getting to the basket pretty well, and I feel like maybe he went away from that a little bit too much at the end because he was trying to cut the lead, but he went 0 for 6 from 3 as well. Bam went 0 for 3 from 3. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's not gonna happen too often.
no, and Simone is continuing to just not be able to score either. He's 0 for 3 from 3, 0 for 5 from the field. I was seeing a post earlier today. I should have saved it. I might have saved it. Talking about our bench scoring. Uh, the Heat had one of the highest bench scoring units in the league for a while, and now we're one of the lowest bench scoring units in the league. It's our whole bench really isn't even scoring as much as they used to. That's partially Simone getting cold. That's Drew not playing to what he was playing before.
Jaime
Jaime was,
getting boxed out of the rotation.
yeah, I'm like, Jaime was decent in this game in terms of scoring, but I mean, the plus minus, he was actually the worst. So, I mean, that's partially he was just on the court when Bane was on that heater, but it's, yeah, it was a Bane revenge game too. The last game we played against them, Bane was shooting terribly. He couldn't hit a shot. And then this game, yeah, he was a lot. He was a problem
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, we chose a bad night to get cold in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it was really like a struggle to score after that blitz in the first quarter where we were going off at one point. Oh wow, the cameras.
I didn't wanna interrupt you, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's kinda crazy.
I just noticed that the sun came in at like the perfect angle from the window. We're recording in the morning right now, so excuse
I
me
don't
for a
wanna
little bit
say
of
anything,
sunlight.
but go ahead.
No, no, appreciate it. Uh, um, um, as I was saying, what was I saying?
We were talking about Bane, how he played terrible the before.
Yeah,
Last game, he came back this game.
yeah, this game. I mean, he shot 6 for 9 from three. He was kind of getting to wherever he wanted.
That 3rd quarter was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was insane. He was just on a heater. I we I, I went into this game feeling so confident because Franz Wagner didn't play, and Franz Wagner has been like the core of this offense of this like engine. Paolo had a decent like return to form game, but it really like this was a very winnable game. We couldn't string together a stop, and the scoring also just came to
Yeah.
a halt for us. But they had a 39-point second quarter against us, and we scored 27 there. It's just it, it's
Yeah.
it's tough, and it's a lot of this is on the bench, I feel like, and I don't really know. I don't know what to do here. It's really tough scenes. I don't know if it's just a bad matchup and we got to go, figure stuff out against different teams, but we're on a little streak that's not looking fun, and it doesn't seem like the offense is even clicking the way it once was. I think Powell said this in the last post game interview that everyone's like taking an extra second to think and not just like going, not moving, and it's kind of showing. It's getting stagnant. We're we're just not finding stuff. I mean, Nikola Jovic becoming straight up DNPs now is also pretty bad development for us.
It's a
He's
big issue when he's 6'10" and we're playing teams with multiple bigs that can rebound.
Yeah, like this is a game that he should be in and that he should be making an impact, and he just straight up wasn't.
Yeah, and he's spoken about it before, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. He mentioned how like this kind of happens every year, with him. How it happened with Jaime earlier in the season as well. That it's just the ebbs and flows of the season and figuring out what the rotation is gonna look like. So when he was playing, when Tyler got back, Jaime wasn't playing. And then now Jaime is playing with Tyler back, and now Nico's not playing. So it's all, I think, Spo tweaking the rotation, trying to figure out what works best, what doesn't work. But I think that's going to be matchup based. I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm really not sure why Nico didn't play yesterday. I get the DMPs lately because of rotational stuff, but if we're getting killed on the boards, put somebody out there that's gonna fight on the boards. Now, if he's just not showing it outside of like if he's not showing it in practice and in their workouts and stuff like that, I get it. I totally understand it. But we were getting killed on the boards, man. And we have
Yeah.
been all season, really.
Yeah. I mean, this wasn't even our worst game on the boards. We were, short 8. They had 8 more rebounds than us, but we were forcing turnovers too. Like they had way more turnovers than we did. They had 16 to our 8 turnovers. We I really feel like it was that stretch with Bane and this offense just not being
Yeah, it
able
was
to hit
terrible
anything.
timing.
Yeah.
Terrible timing. Bame got hot and we couldn't reciprocate. We were shooting twos and they were shooting threes, and the lead just went away from us.
Yeah, there was a series here in the fourth quarter. Let me see. I wrote it down where it was towards the end of the game. We were trying to make a little comeback here. One, there was a little foul call that wasn't called. It was score was 91-103. Hero pumped for a shot at the from the 3-point line, and then he kind of readjusted and went to shoot the three. And Batadze clearly grabbed his arm and ripped the ball from him pretty much. Hero's calling for the foul didn't happen. Regardless, though, after that, Wiggs had hit a three with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to cut the lead to 9. Uh, and then after that, the Suggs did this weird thing where he kind of passed the ball to himself. They said that it got deflected back to his own hand, but that it didn't. I rewatched it a couple times. It didn't look like anyone
I
hit the
thought it
ball.
did. The one
Yeah.
that he bounced off the glass after, it did look like it took a deflection off his hand, which is why he kept going.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see the players fight too much on it either.
No, they weren't fighting on it, but it looked funny on the replay. Regardless, he hits that shot. The Leeds get back up to 11. Um, then we had a little series here where, well, Paolo hit a tough midi over Hero, which, I mean, Hero's a lot shorter than him, but it was still a long range midi from Paolo, which you take that shot.
Well, that long range midi, the Hero didn't close out. That
Yeah.
I did not like. Hero just kind of stood in front of him. He didn't really close out, didn't get a hand up. The effort was minimal. Like Spo said, no one was making an effort to make it to Vegas.
Yeah, they weren't trying hard enough. I mean, I will say in the next thing, Bam, I feel like was actually trying pretty hard.
He tried to
Uh,
carry, hard carry at the end,
yeah, I'm
but
like, I
it
wish he
was
would
too
have had
late.
more shots attempt in the game. He had 14, which I mean is fine. It was kind of evenly distributed, but Tyler had 17, Powell had 19. But
Yeah.
Bam, even though the three was cold for him, I feel like he was doing work in the paint. And we had that lucky little sequence where uh he had that free throw. I think this was in the third quarter. He had that the free throw from the sorry, he got fouled from the 3-point line, had those 3 free throws, and then missed the third one, got the rebound, passed it back out to Powell, got a 3 on that. That was
Yeah.
like I think the last 3 that Powell hit. But yeah, we had a few steals at the end, which again, like the defensive intensity cranked up, and I feel like we keep doing this. We did it in the Detroit game, where we're letting the team kind of get a lead, and then when it's 5 minutes left, they really start cranking it up. And we
Yeah,
had
man.
2 like back-to-back steals off full court pressure, with Wiggins really applying like a lot of full court pressure, and that cut the lead to 7. And then we got the second steal. Hero gets given a wide open 3, which could have cut the lead to 4 with about a minute left, and he missed it. And that was pretty much the end of
Yep.
the game. I mean, that wasn't the reason we lost because we lost the game through several bad plays, but even with that, we had like a chance there at the end to really make something happen. And it's I just feel like this team waits too long to wake up right now. We're kind of like
Yeah.
lulling ourselves to sleep in the second and third quarters and then trying to wake back up in the fourth, and it's not working. I know Spo's
That's
been playing with
been
lineups and stuff, but yeah.
but that's been the same issue for years now. The famous Heat third quarters where we just drop off. It's a multi-season issue. It's
Yeah.
not something that's just been this year. This has been going on for years now.
But if you,
That famous third quarter, we just don't do well.
I thought we had gotten past that already. Like I really thought like, the first 10, 15 games of the season that wasn't the case, but it is again right now. It's like you know, we're giving up leads or we're letting our lead evaporate, and A lot of it
Yeah,
is just
man.
coming off of like poor defense. I mean, sure, like they hit some tough shots and they were clicking, but it, you know, it
Yeah.
didn't feel like we went against an unstoppable force. It just felt like we gave them the game. We were sagging off Bane way too much. Their defensive coverages were getting mixed up on people switching and weren't switching to the right person. The box outs were bad. There was
They were
a
making
myth.
it too easy to get Paulo with Tyler. Also, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I'm like, you're like, Tyler's never going to be a plus defender, but you can't put Paolo on him. That's that's just too easy at that point.
Like you,
But
yeah, you can't make it that easy for them to just switch Paulo onto him. It just,
no. But that's the concern. I mean, it's worked against some teams. This three guard lineup we're running with Hero, Powell, and Davion out there. I mean, it was working at the beginning of this game, obviously, when everyone's clicking and everyone's flying. But it does get scary when, especially against a bigger team like this, when you have those three guards. Because as good as a defender that Davion is, as good as Powell's really been playing as a defender, that's three very small guys. They're all undersized guards.
yep.
And then we're playing an undersized power forward in Andrew Wiggins, and then you're playing an undersized big in Bam. So it's like any one or two of those things is fine. Like we've played Bam at the center for forever, undersized, and it's been fine. You know, you can play another undersized guy next to him, but the whole lineup is small. Like we're
Yeah.
going Steph Curry small ball, the smallest of balls, but none of these guys right now are
But
shooting like
that's
Steph
right
Curry.
up Spo's alley. If we can shoot well, then we're gonna win that way. But if we can't, then we're gonna get killed. And I do think part of it is on Spo too, though, at the end of the day, because
Yeah.
he's got to balance the do we want to keep working this small lineup at the end of games, or do we want to try to just win the game, right? Because at the end of the day, the goal is not to be good now. The goal is to be good in March, April when it really matters. So you need to give these rotations time and to work things out, even if they're not playing well. But in the grand scheme of things, how do you balance that with, all right, let's string up wins right now?
Yeah. And they wanted to win the cup. Like
Yeah,
I
they
do feel
did,
like,
but
yeah.
it looked like
Powell and Bam
some
both really
players
wanted
more
it.
than others wanted to win that cup.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it was just, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the Ware's confidence is finally taking a hit from like the limited minutes and the switching of
Eh,
lineups and stuff.
He's
But
young. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be up and down.
yeah,
That's part of it all, you know.
yeah,
Like, he's what, 2021. That's gonna happen. Like, it's part of the game. We're in a bad 3-game little streak here, but we'll be
yeah.
alright.
So overall, the Heat right now are still the fifth ranked defense, 13th ranked offense in the league. But in the last 2 weeks, we've had the 19th ranked offense and the 15th ranked defense.
Not
So
good enough.
no, it's just been, and let me make sure I didn't flip those numbers. It might be the vice versa, but regardless, there's
Not
been a
good enough.
huge slump. Yeah, it's been a huge slump, and yeah, we had that stretch of games with a lot of like no days off or slightly 19th ranked offense, 15th ranked defense, but yeah, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. We got to hang our hat on the defense, and then the defense leads to offense. We saw it. That was really what, like, the first quarter, as hot as we were getting stops. It wasn't we were going back and forth. We were getting steals. We were forcing tough shots, getting the rebound, and running up and down the court. Whereas once it starts slowing down, once the other team starts making shots, well, now we're not running anymore, and then it just gets tough for us. But
And that's the issue. They have to keep the pace even when they make shots.
so, two things before we move on from this game, I feel like neither of us are rightfully so all that happy about last night's performance. And I'm hoping that this is a blip on the radar. Teams go through stretches like this and then recover. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. And again, before the season even started, I assumed this would be like an evaluation year just to kind of see where things are, to see what moves we need to make, just to figure things out. I didn't think this was going to be a year really to push for anything. At the end of the day, worst case, and I hate to be even thinking about this in December, but worst case, we have our own pick in this year's draft. So it's not like all is lost. It's not like we're screwed. Um, but regardless, one quick thing or two quick things, but first, what's one bright spot that you did take away from this game? And I'll start. I was happy with Bam. I mean, that's easy to say, but I feel like he's consistently been just showing up, applying really good effort on both ends, feeling confident on offense more than I feel like in past years. And the passing, there was a bullet pass, I think in the third quarter that he got to Tyler. Maybe it was in the fourth quarter that was like almost like a full court bullet pass to Tyler, and it was beautiful. And I appreciate Bam. I appreciate everything he does. I appreciate that he is the captain of this team, and I know that even if this isn't the year, I still have faith in building around and building with Bam. But what's your if you have one positive takeaway after watching this game?
That was my one positive takeaway. I mean, he's the only one that looked like he wanted to win the cup yesterday, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's the only one looked like that he gave a damn on defense, you know? At the end, he was jumping off his guy to go rotate and try to affect the shots at the rim, just trying to do everything he possibly could to make sure that we still had a chance at the end of the game. And the rest of the guys just didn't own up to their end of the bargain. It just wasn't good enough.
No, I genuinely, I'm starting to feel like, and hopefully this, my mind has changed. And I don't think this is an issue specifically with Tyler or an issue specifically with Norm, but I do feel like things were less confusing maybe when we knew who the two main like people shooting the shots were going to be. When it was Norm was our 1A and Bam was going to be the 1B, you know? And then Wiggins game to game will get his shots. Hawkeye's going to get his shots. But I feel like right now there's this your turn, my turn things that, and maybe it just takes time. They're still only a few games into it.
That's all stuff that gets worked out over time. And
Yeah.
that's why like people are freaking out already about like, oh, trade hero. And it's like, no, dude, we're a month and a half into the season.
No, and Hero's only been back for a couple games and they haven't even played together in most of the games. I think this is their third game
Exactly.
together, maybe, with Hero and Pau.
They're both
Um,
dealing with injuries.
and both coming back from injuries. That is very true. We undersell it and they played it because it was a cup game, which my next point before we move on. Do you feel like the cup game was a thing? Like, it felt like a playoff atmosphere, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm down. I love it.
yeah,
At first I
I'm
wasn't a huge fan, but I'm into it. I'm into it.
Bill Simmons on his recent podcast, I think said it like as plainly as you could say it. The players care. And as a basketball fan, I like games where I can tell the players care. Like it's
Exactly.
it's as simple as that. Like at the end of the day, I got existential talking about this with a friend yesterday, but I'm like, nothing matters if you want to be cynical. Like, who cares that you won a championship? Did that add money into your pocket? Like when you win the playoffs? Like, no, I care because it's cool to say my team won. Like, there's nothing else to it besides
To
I
a
like
certain extent, it doesn't always have to be about money. Competing is
it's
kind of
just
how they got there.
yeah, I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of my team. I like that when my team tries hard, that they win games. And I like watching games in which people are trying hard. So I think the NBA Cup, honestly, so far has been a success. They were playing intense basketball. It was,
Yeah, they were playing.
and shout out to the Orlando crowd, honestly, because they were into the game the whole game pretty much.
They were, and shout out to them too. Defensively, they made adjustments, and yeah, we did get cold, but at the same time, they have to have some sort of impact on that. You know,
Yeah, but regardless, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm planning on rewatching or not rewatching, but catching the replay of the Knicks Toronto game just to catch that. We have two more cup games tonight. We have the Western Conference Cup games. Before we move on to the Heat schedule, do you wanna make a prediction on these two games? We have Suns Thunder and Spurs Lakers. We'll start with Suns Thunder. I think this is an easy one. Who do you think's taking this one?
Thunder.
Yeah, do you take the
Come
team
on,
that's
man.
23-1 or the team that's 14-10?
Come on.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was an easy Thunder game. And for this Spurs Lakers game, this one's interesting because there's been some whispers, I don't know if it's confirmed yet, that Wemby might be back for this game.
Well, that was
So,
gonna be my question. If Wemby's back, we'll see. If LeBron and Luca are playing, good luck.
man, I've
Good
been trying to
luck.
catch as many Lakers games as possible, and I hate to be the podcast that talks about the Lakers all the time because, that's what everyone does. But for one, it might be LeBron James' last season with the Lakers, and he's sharing the court with Luka Doncic. Like, even if this wasn't the Lakers, you could put this team in freaking Albany, Canada, and I'm gonna want to watch Luka Doncic and LeBron James share the court together. Like
Yeah.
that's it's just great to watch. It's been really fun to see two of the best playmakers in the world on the same team. Some of the passes that they're throwing, LeBron is out there like having fun trying to figure out silly ways to pass the ball. It's been a good time. I think honestly, I'm gonna go with even if Wemby plays, I'm taking the Lakers. It's gonna be his first game back from injury if he plays. I think someone had said this on a pod, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I don't think Luka's ever lost against the Spurs. Either that or he's never lost against Wemby. But uh Luka's just a killer, and when the lights are shining bright, I think he likes those
That's what
games.
makes me think the Lakers are gonna win either way.
Yeah, I'm like both of them like bright light games. There's a reason the Lakers won the inaugural NBA Cup. LeBron lives for this kind of shit. Anything to add to his resume, as much as people might not care about it now, eventually down the line it might matter, and he wants to win as many things as he can win while he's still playing basketball.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I have the Thunder going all the way though. I think once it gets to Lakers Thunder, I don't think anybody's gonna match up. Which, yeah, it's just tough out
In the
there.
cup, I don't know, man. In a seven-game
In one
series,
game,
yes.
yeah. And
But
Luka's
in
given
one
Shea trouble
game,
before. Yeah.
all it takes is for a Luka 40 piece and for Braun to be how he was the other night.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all it takes, and OKC might not be able to do anything about that.
They might not. It's true. Like, because at the end of the day, as good as OKC's defense is, Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic, man. And when you have LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Luka on the court at the same time, it's just so many threats that you have to cover. And they all can make the right pass. Because even AR is a decent passer. Like
Yeah,
he's
man.
He's not the playmaker that Luka and LeBron are, but he's good. And then the luxury to, oh, Luka sits. Okay, LeBron James is going to run the offense now. Oh, LeBron is sitting. Luka's going to run the offense now. It's like you always have somebody who's making the right decision at all times. It's just such a luxury to have.
Yeah.
It's insane. Whereas OKC beats you by hitting you over the head with defense and Shea just scoring a million points in the mid range, which he can do it. But yeah, we'll uh we'll see how it goes. I am excited for the rest of the cup and to see how it does. Amazon also chef's kiss, the production, UD, Blake Griffin, they got John Wall on there last night. They're
Yeah.
just it's just so good. But moving on, the Heat will not be playing the NBA Cup this year, which I'm really sad about. We lost here in the quarterfinals. The Heat have a little road trip coming up. We will be playing the Nets, the Celtics, and the Knicks before the next time I record a podcast. This is today is Wednesday. I won't be recording again till Sunday, and we play all those teams before then.
Okay.
Uh yeah. Um Interesting little streak here. So we'll take it one by one. I will say in general, one thing I'm seeing here against these teams before this is a chance for Ware to have some comeback games. The Nets don't really have the Nets have one of the worst defenses in the whole league. The Celtics have a big who's been playing well, but is like an unknown, and their defense also isn't great. And Ware's already had good games against the Knicks. So I'm really hoping somewhere in this stretch, Ware comes back up and, has one of those games for himself. The Nets, they are currently 25th in the league in offense and 29th in defense. The last 2 weeks, they have been playing a little better than that. They've been 20th in offense and 12th in defense in the last 2 weeks. So, they've had some good games. They have the third slowest pace in the league. That's a trend you're going to see here with all these teams. Their paces are pretty slow. Uh, they're one of the worst. They're the second worst turnover team in the league, and they're the third worst team in allowing offensive rebounds. So just off that alone screams to me that offensive rebounds, Ware's in the game.
All that sounds
Hopefully,
great, man. But watch that be the one game we lose
we
of the three.
can't continue this
But
streak losing
that's the
another
Heat.
one.
That's how we are, man. For whatever reason, we'll show up. We play the Knicks. We'll show up. We'll beat them. We'll go play Boston. Make it a tough game, but then we'll take a crap when we play the Nets. Like that's
Yeah.
a team that we should beat because you said they're what 29th in offense or 29th in defense and 25th in offense. Whatever the
Yeah.
case is, 29th and 25th. That is bottom 10% essentially, or sorry, bottom 20% of the league in
Yeah.
offense and defense. Like
Yeah. It
but
should
that sounds
be
right up our alley for one of those games where we don't put enough effort. A trap game.
and that's why I'm
That's what
mentioning
scares me.
already preluding with that in the last 2 weeks they've been playing a little better than that. The defense is 12th, the offense is 20th. Like it's like a perfect setup for like this team's clicking right now and our team's in a rut. But uh yeah, I mean, their defense is really abysmal, though. They're the second worst team at allowing shots at the rim. That's the place that you really don't want anyone ever getting to. It's the easiest place to score from.
Yeah.
And they also allow a ton of corner threes. So it's just a lot of rim attempts, a lot of corner threes. Um, when it comes to their offense specifically, they're actually top three in shooting threes, and they shoot a lot from the corner in terms of frequency, not in terms of makes, which is ironic because they're top three in frequency at shooting threes, but they're the worst shooting percentage from corner three. They have the worst 3-point percentage from there, so they just shoot a ton and hope they go in. So I'm hopeful too because this is a team that's the second lowest in the league in points in the paint, and so far it's been a trend. The teams that are good at points in the paint, we've failed against. The Magic, the Pistons, they have given us issues. This team, hopefully, our smaller guards can deal with it and be able to figure it out. It's tough, but I mean, we need a win. We can't go 4 in a row down against the Nets.
I know, I know. It's gonna go one of two ways. We're gonna lose in terrible fashion, or we're gonna blow them out.
Yeah, I would love for another blowout for the morale.
We need it. The Heat need to turn it around. They need to beat up on someone.
Yeah. Michael Porter Jr., I will say, just before we move on, has been cooking for them. 25.8 points a game, 7.6 rebounds, 3.2 assists. He's a plus 11.6 on off, 90th percentile in the league. He's been really good for them, actually. He's just been a good pickup. I think some of the controversial things he said over the summer, plus uh his performance last year's playoff where he was playing with one arm. He had like a screwed up shoulder and people were kind of getting on him for it. I think
Yeah,
it tainted the way people looked at him, but he's a good basketball player. There's a reason why he was the
always
number
has
one
been,
recruit in the
man.
country. Yeah, he's always been good. It's just been injuries with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see, man. It's a lot of young players on this team too. Danny Wolf has been playing well for them. Noah Clowney's been playing well for them. All young, all bigs too, which is interesting. It's just a bunch of big guys who are playing well. But I'm uh I'm hoping this is the beginning of a little run for us. I think we can. In a perfect world, think we can win these next 3 games. This next one, though, after the Knicks, is the Celtics. I mean, sorry, after the Nets is the Celtics. Boston, what a surprise Boston has been, man. Jaylen
Really?
Brown has just been incredible.
I haven't been paying attention, so
He's scoring 29 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, 4.9 assists. Um, they've just been hustling, man. It's a Coach Mazzulla team.
I was
They
gonna say, do we expect anything different from a Jalen Brown ran Missoula team right now with no Tatum in the middle?
No. So this is interesting. So they're fourth in offense, 17th in defense. In the last 2 weeks, they've actually been first in offense and 22nd in defense.
That's a team
They're
that chucks up threes too.
they love shooting threes. They still do that. And then I went to check because their defense is so bad. Um, they have this interesting scheme where they're bottom three and allowing non-corner threes. So they allow a lot of top of the break, a lot of shots from the top of the arc, threes, but they don't allow corners. But because of how much they allow those top of the arc threes, they end up becoming one of the teams that allows the most threes in the whole league, even though they don't allow anyone to shoot from the corners. So it's a little interesting. And they're top two in preventing rim attempts. The thing that they falter at, uh, they end up actually being third worst at points in the paint. And that's because they can't rebound to save their lives. They're one of the worst.
Just like us.
Yeah, they're one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. They allow a ton of offensive rebounds. I was looking at further threes as well. Just speaking to Coach Mazzulla, aside from a few people's names who you recognize on this team, you wouldn't say any of these guys are lockdown defenders. But I was trying to see what their luck has been from teams shooting three, and they're top five in terms of opponent shooting and having very tightly contested threes or very tightly contested shots, 0 to 2 feet between the opponent shooting and the defender. And they're top three in tightly contested shots, 2 to 4 feet from their opponent and the defender. So they're not really allowing people to shoot open shots. They're playing defense. They're just not being able to rebound really is the issue. They're not able to rebound, and then teams are scoring and getting extra possessions on them. They also they don't turn over the ball, but that's because they don't pass the ball. They ISO ball with Jaylen Brown, and I mean it works. It's working for them right now. I
Yeah.
Look, I love this is funny enough that as good as the Celtics have been playing, I love the Heat every time we play against the Celtics. I feel like we get up for these games. They get up for these games. So to your point, like I could easily see us losing against the Nets and then winning against the Celtics in a dominant fashion. It's
Yeah.
kind of how it goes for us sometimes. But Jaylen Brown, man, just wanna give him his kudos because there was always been questions about him. How good is he really? Is he just benefiting from Tatum? Does he have
I
a
mean, but
left
he's always played
hand?
extremely well when Tatum's not playing.
He has. A lot of those questions
It's
have been
just
unfounded.
now
Yeah.
we're having a whole season of it, you know?
We're having a whole season where he's the guy with the ball in his hands and it's working. He's playing good basketball. This is a team that the general manager definitely was trying to lose with the moves he made. But the coach and Jaylen Brown and Derek White, they're not built that way. They're not trying to lose anything. I do think if they ever get so unlucky that Jaylen Brown is out for a couple weeks, that's
That's their
ripperonis.
season.
Yeah, that's if Jaylen Brown goes down for a month or two, which I mean happens to anybody, that'll be a streak of losses for them. So for their sake and for our sake, because they do have their own pick, I hope Jaylen Brown stays healthy. I hope this team makes it to the playoffs, and I hope they don't end up with a good pick in next year's draft with Jason Tatum coming back healthy too, because that would suck for everybody.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I'm hopeful. Any chance you get to beat Boston is a chance you want to take, and there's only so many games we can continue to lose. I think people have spent too much time also looking at the standings right now. Like I see them,
exactly. It's December, the first week, second week of December.
yeah, like I keep seeing them get posted, and it's like, oh, the Heat are the A seed right now after that hot start. It's like we're 14 and 11, and we're within a couple games of everybody besides the Pistons. Like really, everybody's.
Let's see what it looks like after All-Star break. That's when we should start actually caring what that looks like.
Yeah, I'm like, all it takes is a bad streak from anybody. Like right now, the Celtics are on a 5-win streak. Right now, the Heat are on a 4-loss streak. That's
That's it right
that's
there.
where that's where this takes you. You know what I mean? And anyone can go on a streak at any point in time. That's kind of how it happens. But the next game after the Celtics is against the New York Knicks. I didn't go too far into looking at their actual stats going into this game because they're going to play a bunch. We're going to play a bunch before this game. Uh, More so than anything, just wanting to mention that they're playing really well and they're maybe a scary team. I still don't know if any team in the East has any chance against the teams in the West, but
I don't know. Definitely not New York.
they just don't have the defense.
Yeah, they also play really small and like they play ISO ball, man. Too much ISO ball.
Yeah, which I mean,
It
when it
only
works,
gets
it
you so
works.
far.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
and
The other
that's why
night,
it works for them in the playoffs because all the ISO actions and stuff like that. It works in the playoffs because it's much slower and stuff like that. But
the other night,
nah,
against Toronto, Jalen Brunson, 13 of 19 from the field, 6 of 9 from three at 35 points. Like when it
he
works,
has to do that every night for them to be good. That's the problem.
yeah, I thought they'd have a better distribution in terms of like, and I will say in terms of shots, he shot 19, McCall shot 14, Cat shot 11, OG shot 11. He's back finally. Josh Hart shot 11. So they're spreading the ball more than they used to, I think, a little bit. Uh, but it's still, I think they're still figuring that part out. And again, nonetheless, I think the defense is always going to be an issue. As much of a dog as Josh Hart and OG and McCall are, like genuinely, I think all those three players are freaking awesome. It's it's
The
it's
other
always
two
going to be
don't play defense.
yeah, it's going to be really tough to win when two of your starters are not good on defense. It's just
Yeah, we just
it's
have to hope that Cat doesn't go crazy and have a 30-point first half like he did last time. If he
yeah,
doesn't do that, we'll win. We'll be all right.
yeah.
There's if Cat has a 30-point first half, we're in a lot of trouble. That
I'm
doesn't
just
happen often, and he just got hot against us.
he did. Yeah, no. I'm not necessarily expecting that. I mean, Cod is a great offensive player, but that's not something you necessarily expect. We also haven't faced that team fully healthy yet. Neither have they faced us fully healthy. I'll give them that credit too. It's been a mixture of us having injuries and them having injuries, but this might be the first time we actually get to play each other both fully healthy. So that's also an interesting thing to see how you can compete against a top team in the East. Um, the last time we played a top team in the East, which was the Pistons, it was a 1 point loss. So, I mean, it was a clawback to a 1 point loss. We almost got blown out, but nonetheless, it was a 1 point loss. So let's hope that we can get from this stretch. Like, if I made you pick right now in this next 3 game stretch, what are we going?
2-1.
2-1? Okay. And where do you think the loss is going to come just for funsies?
The Nets.
So you think we're gonna go down 5 in a row and then have the real bounce back against the good
4 in a
teams?
row and then have the bounce back, yeah.
No, I was mistaken. We're 4 in a row right now.
Oh,
I
yuck.
Yeah, we're 4 in a row right now.
Yeah,
Not
I think we'll take a crap against the Nets, and then we'll show up the next
we'll
2
wake up.
games.
Yeah. Which is interesting that we're going to Brooklyn, then we're going to Boston, then we're going to New York City, which I mean, I guess it's all in the same general area, but I would
Yeah.
have thought they would have done New York, then Boston. But uh yeah, I'm gonna be the homer guy because I need it for my own mental. I'm gonna say we win the next 3. We're gonna break off 3 in a row. Everyone's gonna forget about everything, and I'm
We'll
gonna
be
be able to.
back.
Yeah, we'll be back. We will be back. There's also been before we move on to some random stuff, uh it's been interesting because some people have mentioned that ever since the Giannis trade rumors started is kind of when this team started to stink. And I wonder if that's affecting the locker room at all. Like Wiggins hearing his name in a bunch of these fake trades getting floated, Tyler Hero hearing his name again in these fake trades getting floated.
But that's always been the case. Like
Yeah,
Heroes always handled it really well, and he's
he
always
has.
said that. Like it's part of playing for the Heat. If you're not Bam, like your name's gonna be brought up in a trade. Always is. Because they know that the Heat are always looking to bring in that big player. Obviously, it hasn't happened in a long time since the Jimmy trade, but we're always looking to make that kind of move. And if you're, like Hero said, Hero's trying to work himself into the non-tradable position, like Bam. He's
Yeah.
not there yet. It just is what it is. Um, but I also don't think that like, it affects them too much at this point because maybe Wiggins, I'm not sure, he hasn't been here as long, but the way that Tyler's been able to handle it the last few years and the way Duncan did when he was here for a while, um, yeah, it's kinda like they've built that, mental fortitude to all the bullshit noise that comes from the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, it is that is true. I will say at least Hero has been pretty good with that. So yeah, maybe it's affecting Wiggins. Maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just a funk. It's winning solves everything and losing kind of ruins everything. So maybe everybody's just not feeling good. I
Yeah.
did want to before getting into some random stuff, I did want to just talk about it. Recently, yesterday, I believe Sam Amick came out and said that he believes the most likely destination for Giannis is Miami. But also yesterday, Chris Haynes came out and said that Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis met with some teammates to address rumors of his future. Message was to focus on basketball and not allow outside noise to distract the team. I don't know how much what that really means, like, because it doesn't say he doesn't want to go anywhere.
What that means is block out the noise because I'm outta here,
Yeah,
and
like
it's gonna get loud.
yeah, that's like I think he's trying to leave without being a bad guy. He doesn't.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to rip the Band-Aid, dude. Like, LeBron learned that the hard way when it took him forever to leave Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
This
true.
is what it is. Like, you gotta just go sometimes. You did everything you could for that city. You won them a title. You're a legend in that city for the rest of your life and for
Yeah.
the rest of your kids' lives. You are a legend in Milwaukee.
Yeah, he's the best Bucks ever. Best Bucks player ever. He won a championship there.
Ever. He brought a
Yeah.
championship to fucking Milwaukee. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah, you don't need to prove anything else. You're still young enough. Like
It's
play the
yeah, and at the end of the day, they're not making moves to help you. You've done all you can behind the scenes to try to get them to make the moves. Yes, Dame getting hurt is really unfortunate. It also screwed up that team, losing Drew and giving up the entire dynamic of what that team was to
and
bring
giving up
in
Chris
someone like
Middleton
Dame.
for Kuzma too.
Like they've done a lot of different things, and it just hasn't really helped them become contenders. And Giannis has done everything he can, and all Giannis keeps doing is not him. I'll say probably his team, his representation are doing is making a bunch of noise about possibly leaving if Milwaukee doesn't do anything. And of course, who wants to go to Milwaukee?
Yeah, it's just tough scenes. I mean I feel
Yeah.
for Milwaukee, but at the end of the day, I even if he's not coming to the Heat, of course I'd love him on the Heat, but I just want to see Giannis play meaningful basketball because he's
Yeah. I
one of the
would
best
love for him to
players.
come to the Heat. I think that's one of the few players that you do trade Tyler for. So whenever everyone's in this whole span of like, oh, trade Tyler, trade Tyler, trade Tyler, I'm like,
For
okay,
Giannis, yeah.
for who? For
Yeah,
who? If you can't show me a player that's available that's gonna make us better, then I don't wanna fucking hear it.
yeah,
Giannis, tell me all about it. I'm in.
yeah,
Send it.
1000%,
Send
1000%.
him, send Ware, send all the picks that we got. Tell the NBA to stop screwing us over and send us our pick back. And then send that one too. And then go find Terry Rozier and send them to go play in Europe or some shit.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, but
truly,
like
yeah, you do everything you can in that situation if you have a
for
chance to
Giannis,
get.
yes. For
Yeah,
someone like D Book, yes. After that, the line kind of stops. No
yeah,
one else
at
is
least in
available. No one
yeah, at
else
least
is
in
even
terms of
being
people available.
rumored. Like
Yeah,
there's no noise. Usually there's noise. Like the Giannis noise is happening right now. Usually there's three or four superstars that kind of noise is happening about this time of the year and going into All-Star break. If it's just gonna be Giannis, yeah, I mean, go all in. If it's Giannis, do it. Send Ware, screw it.
yeah,
Get
no,
rid of the
100%.
inconsistency, get rid of all that stuff. Get it out and get what you know is great.
Yeah, if not, there's no reason, like, again, to what we were saying earlier. This team is not a Lowry Markkinen, John Morant, and Anthony Davis away from winning a championship.
No.
This team is in a reevaluation stage, is in a growth stage. We have young players, we have some of our own picks. I'd much rather just chill and see what we have and continue to build than to empty the war chest on someone for what? To to get bounced in the second round or the third round of the playoffs. It's just not
Exactly.
it's not worth it. But for Giannis, then you have a chance to get to the finals. That's
Yes.
different. That's completely
No,
different.
with Giannis, we go to the finals and we have a
Yeah.
chance at winning.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's what I'm for. But all right, before we get out of here, there's a few things that I've, been keeping track of that have been going on. There's a segment we're calling baked or based. Are these takes, are these opinions, are these quotes, are they baked? Is this guy high off his rocker? Or are they pretty based? First, we'll start off. Rich Paul and Max Kellerman have launched their new show, which is
Mm, I heard
really cool
this.
really cool to see. It's on the Ringer. It's on Spotify. It's like a video show. The first episode launched this week. Rich Paul, he's an insider. He knows everything about everything. But on this show,
Insider's an understatement.
yeah,
Basically runs the league for Adam
basic,
Silver, but okay.
yeah, he has like all the best players. Uh, on this show, he outright said, Rich Paul did, that the Lakers aren't currently a contender and they're not better than the Nuggets or the Oklahoma City Thunder. Is that a baked or base take from Rich Paul?
Based.
That,
Totally based.
yeah,
That's honest. There is no one that can keep up with those two teams right now in the West. Um, Minnesota tried. That's it. But
yeah, no.
that's just the reality of the situation, right? But
It's
how much better can the Lakers get at this point? Like
That's the surprising thing for him to say. Cause I'm like, what, when someone like him says something like that, you're assuming he's putting pressure on the front office.
yes.
What can
Everything
they,
he says is calculated.
yeah, but what can they really do other than, which I've said this before, and I don't know if I feel this way anymore, other than trade like an Austin Reeves. He's really the only other player who has like high value on that team. You can't trade LeBron. He has a no trade clause. I don't, or maybe LeBron wants to go somewhere else and maybe LeBron wants to go home somewhere, but I don't,
LeBron said he doesn't want to leave LA.
yeah. So I just don't know what the purpose of that necessarily was, but
Make some noise, man.
make some
Stir some shit
noise.
up.
Yeah.
Because when Rich Paul speaks, these people, the GMs, these presidents of these teams, they're all paying attention. Because
Yeah,
he's the one that's pulling the strings a lot behind the scenes on a lot of things that happen. He definitely knew about that Luka deal
of course.
way before it happened. LeBron, more than likely, knew that that deal was happening. Like these people pull the strings for the entire league, not just the teams of the players that they represent, right? Like Rich
Yeah,
Paul has a ton of the best players, all the family names, you name them, he's got them, right? But they really do pull the strings for a lot of different things that happen around in the NBA.
they
And
do.
everything that he says publicly is extremely calculated, and there's a reason for it. And for timing wise and content wise, what he's saying. There's a reason why he's saying that. I'm not exactly sure what the Lakers could do to make their situation better. I haven't been watching too much Lakers ball. I do know they've been pretty good. They've done
Yeah,
well.
they were
Been
playing
really
well.
well for Aiton's played really well for them. Um,
It's just
But
defense. They just don't have a
I don't
like.
know. I think Rich Paul is sending a message there. Don't know to who, but you know.
Yeah, but I'm just it is something to keep an eye on. Something to keep an eye on. We're not the
Exactly.
ones who said it. Rich Paul said it. So to your point, when Rich Paul speaks, people listen. Next up on this baked or based list. So reports came out that the Mavericks are open to exploring trade markets for Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and Klay Thompson and D'Angelo Russell. Uh, Teams that are interested in Anthony Davis, Pistons, Hawks, and Raptors are the expected suitors. Do you think any of these teams are based or are they baked? The Pistons, Hawks, and Raptors for wanting to trade for AD.
The Pistons would be based. Everyone else is baked.
Yeah,
But if he goes to Detroit, man,
that
listen.
could be nice. They've already
I'm
shown
telling
that.
you, Detroit was beating Detroit was better than the New York Knicks in that series last year in the first round. They were just extremely inexperienced and lost 3 out of the 4 games in the last 4 minutes of the game.
So
That's scary if that Detroit team can get someone like AD.
I'm glad that you said them. So the reported trade that would be considered off that Pistons would be offering is Jaden Ivey, who hasn't played that much this year. They've done a lot of the winning without him. Young player. He's like the young asset in this trade. Tobias Harris and expiring contracts and picks. If you can send out Jaden Ivey, Tobias Harris, some expirings and some picks to a team that's been clicking to get Anthony Davis, yeah, that is
Yeah, if you can
that's
make it happen, yeah. I don't know if
that's
that's enough though. There may need to be a third team involved for that, but
yeah, but it's scary stuff. I will say to the Hawks and Raptors credit, I think the Raptors have been playing pretty well. I don't know if they're an AD away from anything. And also I don't
they're not playing for anything. Neither is Atlanta. So
yeah,
it's
I
like,
also don't know if the Raptors have enough depth to really be able to sacrifice that many players. And then when Atlanta's case, like what are you giving up? At the end of the day, like Atlanta, right now you're sitting on the Pelicans pick. You have a young Jalen Johnson who's shining like a star right now. Like you have Kristaps already. Like, I don't know, unless you're doing some kind of swapperoos and stuff. But if I'm them, if I'm Atlanta, I'm taking it easy and I'm kind of rebuilding. You have a bunch of young, exciting players right now. You're kind of like giving yourself a free pass to get off the Trae Young timeline if you want to. So
yeah,
trading for AD is accelerating the timeline by a large amount. Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, I agree. I think they're mostly baked, but I think the Pistons would be pretty based if they do it. Two more on here. Miami reportedly having conversations about Ja, baked or based, if true.
Baked as fuck.
I don't know if this is true because leaks never come out from the Heat for the most
That's
part.
what makes me think this is ridiculous. This is noise. This is
Yeah.
noise to stir up some dang, what's the right word here? Some where teams will want him. Damn, I can't
Yeah,
think of
yeah,
the right
like
word.
getting I know what you're trying to say, like a competition, like a bidding war over
Yeah,
Jaw.
this is
Like,
trying to bring up his value a little bit, bring some noise to the table to see if anyone else will step up, right?
because even if that
But
was true, that's such a
there's too
loose
many
word.
logical reasons as to why it would not happen.
Yeah, like just to
First,
quickly
the
cover
coach
them.
thing,
Yeah, exactly,
the Micah Miller situation,
exactly.
the Miami Heat situation in general. He doesn't make us better for what we'd have to trade for him.
No, we'd have to swap a guard out for him because we can't keep running guards, and then you're probably going to trade one of the guards. So what? You're gonna have a starting lineup now: a Davion, Jaw, and Norman Powell. I don't love it. Look, again, if you can get Jaw for cheap, and I've said this before on the record, there's a chance that when he goes to another place, he's going to be revitalized and be explosive again. There's a chance of that.
Yeah.
But I think if the Heat are going for Jaw, that means the Heat are waving the white flag and saying like we're kind of rebuilding right now, and we
Yeah.
think we think
He's
Jaw and Bam together are the future. But that means we're getting rid of Powell. That means we're getting rid of Tyler, of Wiggs. I don't know. I'm not in
I'm
on
not
it.
a fan of the idea. We're the best possible situation for Ja, but Ja's not the best possible situation for the Heat.
Yeah.
He could
I'm
use all the discipline, the habit build forming, all of that good stuff that the Heat culture has. He could use all of that in his life right now, right?
Yeah. Oh, for
But
sure.
I'm not necessarily sure that for the Heat, the juice is worth the squeeze because I don't think it makes us better than where we're at right now.
And I will say, just before we go to the last thing here, I do want to say it on the record. As a Heat fan, as a Heat lifer, if the Heat, for some reason, were to trade for John Morant, I am going to root for him and I'm going to support that decision and I'm going to go for it. I wasn't at the time. a fan of the Jimmy Butler trade. I thought we were accelerating our timeline too fast, and I didn't think it made sense. When he landed here on the Heat, I'm a Jimmy Butler fan, and we ended up going to 2 finals, so I was wrong. But all this to say, I'm criticizing the idea of it. This is my opinion. But if a guy's wearing a Heat jersey, I'm a fan of that guy. That's besides Terry Rozier right now, but he's not really wearing the jersey.
Baked.
Yeah,
Baked.
nah,
Tell
I'm
Georgie to take his jersey off, man.
yeah, I'm like, I don't want it to happen. I don't think it'll be good. But if John Moran ends up in Miami, then I'm going to be praying that it is good. I'm going to be praying that it is. Uh, Last but not least, this is an interesting one. It's probably flying a little under your radar, maybe. I mean, you're aware that the Pelicans traded up in this year's draft. They had Jeremiah Fears, and then they wanted to trade up so that they could also get Derek Queen. And by trading up, they gave up next year's draft pick to the Atlanta Hawks completely unprotected. They gave an unprotected pick in next year's draft, which is a good draft, to the Atlanta Hawks because they wanted Derek Queen. A draft pick that next year might be in the top 5 because the Pelicans suck. But Derek Queen is playing some really, really good basketball. He
I
just had
saw a picture of what his stats looked like either yesterday or the day before. Yeah.
33, 10, and 10 against the Spurs. He's the 5th rookie in over 20 years to record a triple-double. Steph, Luka, Austin, and Blake are the only other ones. And he's the first ever to have that 30-point triple-double with 4 blocks. So, man, I watched that game. I went and rewatched it. Like, I went back and watched the film on it. Smart passes, nice touch around the rim, can bring the ball up the court, has a decent little handle to his game, is a competitor. Almost won them the game. He had a shot to win the game, a go-ahead shot that he could have taken to win the game. Didn't make it, but he's a baller.
Yeah.
Were they baked or based on trading that next year's pick, saying, look, I don't know how good not Dylan Harper, I'm sorry. I don't know how good any of these next guys in the next year's draft, Boozer is gonna be. Derek Queen is it. Derek Queen is now.
Hey, they found their guy. They made their move. When you found your player, it happens in football a lot more often. You'll see that where teams will trade up, they'll pick, and then right after they'll trade their next year's first round pick or etc.
Because they like that guy that
For
much.
because they really like another guy that they don't think they'll be able to get the same value the following year for, right?
Yeah.
So more recently in the NFL, it happened with Houston when they drafted CJ Stroud, then traded back into the first round to draft Will Anderson, a defensive end, a pick later, literally a pick later. And the amount of value they had to give up to trade back in was absurd. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it was a first from the following year, a second, and a whole bunch more. It was a massive haul. And if you ask them right now, it was the best thing they did. Best
Sometimes if
thing
you
they
know.
did. They've gone to the playoffs the last 3 years. They've won a playoff game in the last two. Um, and so, like, when you have your guy and you've decided this is the guy I want, go, go all in, go get him.
Yeah.
Pelicans are showing they did that. So I think it's pretty base, dude. Like
Yeah. I'm like,
they gave up a lot, but it is what it is.
yeah, I'm like, who knows? I mean, we'll see what that pick ends up actually being because it's a lottery. It's not guaranteed anything. So we'll see where it lands next year.
Yeah.
And we'll see where Derek Queen continues to develop. But he's looking really good right now. And I will say the pick that they took ahead of Derek Queen, which is the confusing part of it, is Jeremiah Fears. Jeremiah Fears has been looking pretty good too. He's still
I don't know anything about the guy, so I don't know.
he's a
I'm
young
not
small
familiar.
point guard. So like it's gonna take some time just because of how that works when you're that small. I
Mhm.
think Mike Miller is his agent actually, which is always cool to
Interesting.
see. Yeah.
I didn't.
But he has a nice little dribble, like a nice handle. He's like a 3-level scorer, very fast, very shifty. He's not as been like eyebrow raising, I think, as Derek Queen yet this season, but he looks good. And it looks like they're trying to build around this new team. They still have some
Without
assets that
Zion,
possibly, man, possibly. They still have some assets they could trade if they want to keep moving. Herb Jones looks really good for them. Murphy the third looks great for them. So if they want to keep
listen,
just
man, I would love Herb Jones to play on the Heat.
yeah, I was watching that game and he had some really fun plays. He's
He's a typical Heat player.
yeah, and he needs to be in a winning environment. I actually like free Herb Jones because I would love to trade for him. I would trade for Murphy the third too. I think they're both good players. I like them. So look, we'll see how it all turns out. To your point, maybe it bites them in the ass, but it's a pretty based move to say, I like this guy. We're taking this guy. And just before we close out, they are calling him Jambalaya Jokic and Baby Jokic. Those are the nicknames for him. I like Jambalaya Jokic. I'm a I'm a big fan of Jambalaya Jokic. But last but not least, fired up and burnt out. I have a feeling I know what's burning you out as per usual, right? But I'll start with what I'm fired up for. And to be honest, I'm fired for the NBA Cup. Like we were saying earlier, I like the games. I think they're fun. They're highly competitive. Like as much as I think the Thunder are going to beat the Suns, I think it's going to be a fist fight because Dylan Brooks doesn't quit. He's not the kind of player who quits, and he makes his team play the same way. I think the Spurs Laker, like that's a show if you've ever seen one. And then whichever of those teams end up going up to play against the other, like I just think it's going to be a good competition. I'm fired up about the NBA Cup. What about you?
I agree. I'm fired up about the college football playoffs. Shout out to them doing the right thing.
And they put UM
Shout out
in.
to bringing Miami in there, Notre Dame crying like little babies.
Screw
Now
them.
screw them all. And they just did the right thing. I'll just leave it at that. They did the right thing. There was too much lobbying going on when you have the U.S. Secretary of State lobbying for why you should be in a college football playoff. Not that that should be anything that that person should be doing, anyways, but
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
way
yeah.
too much lobbying going on
There was a
for
lot.
them not to do the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, it just made the most sense. It made the most
It
sense
was
without a doubt.
ridiculous. The reasoning behind why they had Notre Dame there originally was just absurd, and it took for a lot of people, including obviously the GOAT, Nick Saban, to come out and be like, you guys are stupid, quite frankly, to figure this out. But as long as they have people running the committee that are active presidents for schools in conferences, it's never going to be fair. It's always going to be biased.
Yeah,
It's
that's
always
that's
it's always weird. It's
unfortunate.
gonna be weird because they're always gonna root for the SEC team because the leader of the college football playoff committee is a president at an SEC school. Plus, you talk about the media deals that they have, right? With so SEC with ESPN. Um, it's just a lot. There's just a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on that doesn't make it the most objective thing. And I'm glad that they ended up deciding to do the right thing this time.
They did the right thing, and I hope that UM proves them.
I just hope we don't crap out
Yeah,
because man, did they do some real lobbying for that. Shout out
yeah.
to Max and all the
Shout out
work
to
he had to do
Max.
behind the scenes because I know he's been busy.
Some
Uh
are saying that he's single-handedly is the reason for the winning we've been doing. That's what some are saying.
Listen, man. Shout out to Max.
Shout out to Max. Uh, Last but not least, this one's easy. It might be the same for us both, but maybe we'll switch it up. What I'm burnt out by a 4-game losing streak by the Miami Heat. This podcast is way more fun to do research for and to work on when the Heat are winning. So that's what's burning me out.
All right, so I'm gonna change it up this time. My Baltimore Ravens are burning me out. It's
Oh,
Lamar
not going
Jackson
well.
looks like a shell of himself. I know he's
Uh,
battling injuries, but it just looks like he's making a lot of bad decisions that are not being impacted by the injuries. Making bad throws. He's been inaccurate. Offensively, they look like a shell of themselves completely. The defense has finally shown up. Um, but man, we from being a team that was the number one red zone team last year and had the most yards and averaging 200 yards rushing a game to the garbage that I'm seeing week to week on offense this year.
it's
It's been
disappointing.
so disappointing. And
Yeah.
it really does have me burnt out right now.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than watching your favorite team not play well. That's
No, and especially when they have the same players and the same coaches that they did before. And they're doing nothing that made them great before.
yeah. Last night I was walking around the kitchen like prepping stuff for like for today and whatnot while I was watching the beginning of the fourth quarter of the Heat game, and Jess just heard me yelling from different parts of the room like "fuck, motherfucker, shit," and it was just the
That
feelings
was
that
me
these
while I
teams
was
give us.
cooking yesterday.
Yeah.
And I just hear them screaming about Bane, and I'm like, God
Oh,
damn it,
damn it.
somebody do
Oh,
something.
Oh, sorry. One last thing before we go. I do want to say Desmond Bain is on a really good trajectory to be maybe one of the best villains the NBA has ever had. His last name is Bain. In two recent games, he beamed a ball at someone, like if he was playing dodgeball. It was, if you haven't seen the clip, look it up after this.
I
OG was
didn't
on the
catch that.
floor. It was one of those where, you know, when like you want to throw it at someone who's out of bounds to make sure it's out of bounds off them.
I saw the one the other day. I didn't
Yeah.
see one yesterday. He did it again?
It was like 2 days ago. He did, but there was one
Okay.
before that, apparently, like a week before it. So
Oh, okay. I saw the one
he's,
2 days ago, and I
yeah,
was like, "Yo, why didn't no one punch him in his shit? Like, what's
he
wrong with him?"
beamed it. And
For no reason.
no, which apparently they laughed about it after. Like, I think he just kind of, like, him and both OG laughed. I think he kind of just got caught up in the moment and he's like very fiery. And then at the end of this game, he was clapping in Norman Powell's face, hype, because he won.
That
Bane,
alright. That alright. Like,
that's fine. That's regular villain
talk
stuff.
your
That's
shit.
cool.
You won. Talk your
Yeah,
shit.
talk your
I'm all
shit.
for
But
shit talking. But the throwing the ball the way that he did too was just so unnecessary.
dude,
Like, if I was someone on the other team, man, listen.
Tim Legler came out and said, for Tim Legler to say this, he's like, in my era, if that was me, I think we would be fighting.
Yeah,
Like,
like it was just unnecessary. Like if you're going out of bounds and you have to throw it off someone, Chris Paul's been a magician at doing that for over a decade, like 2 decades almost. Like there's ways of doing it. But he was just standing under the basket, grabbed the ball and threw it off the dude on the
be
floor, like just because,
beamed it.
just to be
Yeah.
an asshole. And I was like, yo, what's
Yeah.
wrong with this guy?
It was way too much. And I will say that might have been the reason we lost this game. He actually had said in the post game interview of the win tonight, last night, that he was fined $35,000 for that and he needed to make his money back.
Mm,
So he had he was
yeah,
driven to make that money back. So,
yeah.
but Adrian, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Always a
We'll
pleasure,
have it.
man.
We'll have this out tomorrow. We'll find out some more cup results, and we'll yeah, we'll keep talking soon.
Sounds good, man. Always a pleasure.
S- See you, brother.